Hey guys, thanks for tuning in. Today I'm going to get to something I've been meaning to for a while. I'm going to give us a complete walkthrough and guide for any of you aspiring Eldegoss players out there. It's me, Ticklin' Goat. Here I'll show you my credentials real quick. I'm currently number 18 on the world rankings by Pokemon list with 4,664 wins with a win rate of 58%. Let's pull up our Eldegoss here. So in this guide today, I'm going to talk about all of the abilities the Eldegoss possesses and a little bit about how to use them. We'll talk about held items, and I'll guide you through some emblem sets that have been successfully used by me and others. Alright, let's start off with our powers. So Eldegoss is a special attack supporter class in Pokemon Unite, and that means we have abilities such as healing and shielding, stunning. We use range for our basic attacks. Alright, let's take a look. Our basic attack is a ranged attack, and it becomes boosted every third attack, attaching a bit of cotton fluff to the opposing Pokemon. The basic attacks on the opponent afflicted by cotton fluff will deal increased damage, and it slows the opposing Pokemon's movement speed. And your allies will deal increased damage to the person afflicted by cotton fluff as well with their attacks. It's based off of Eldegoss's special attack stat is the scaler there. So this is pretty good. This is a great asset to stop early in the lane opponents from getting in and making that quick score. You can slow them down if you can catch them with your basic attack before they get to your goal. Next, as a passive ability for Eldegoss, we've got Cotton Down, and this works similar to Rocky Helmet, but it's a little bit better. It does everything that Rocky Helmet does. It deals in damage to an opponent after Eldegoss takes a certain amount of damage. It also will reduce the movement speed of the opponent when Cotton Down triggers. Also, when in addition, Cotton Down will heal Eldegoss for a percentage of it. It's pretty good, you know, maybe 10% or so. I don't have the numbers off the top of my head, but it's a bit of a heal. It's noticeable, and it gives you a movement speed increase. So you'll notice when this triggers that Eldegoss will do a little bit of a flourish. Alright, let's move on to our first abilities that you can pick, either Leafage or Synthesis. Now I advise taking Leafage as your first power pick right down the lane. It is a ranged attack. It's just a straight up blast, and when it hits, it will decrease the movement speed of the opponent for a short time. This is also a great to combine with your passive, the Cotton Fluff, to prevent enemies from getting to your goal early and putting in a score. So if you could catch them in the middle of the lane and hit them with your Leafage and put your Cotton Fluff on them, then most of the time you'll be able to knock them out if your lane partner is on board with the attacks before they'll be able to put in a score. So that's a great strategy early on. Next, we have Synthesis, and this is just a straight up recovery area of effect, recovery around the user. It's super simple to use. Just stand next to whoever you want to heal, yourself included, and fire it off. Alright, let's go back over here for our first choice of our upgrade that we can reach at level 4. We have the choice between Pollen Puff or Leaf Tornado. Generally speaking, you're going to want to pick Pollen Puff. It's a solid power. It throws a pollen puff which attaches to a Pokemon. The pollen puff restores hit points for allies, and it deals a little bit of damage to the opponent. Now this pollen puff can also be tossed onto the ground and left on the ground, and if it is, it will actually pop and give you the healing a little bit quicker than if you attach it to yourself or attach it to an ally. This is a great power. Learn it and learn the aiming for it. It can be kind of tricky. I'll pull up the practice screen to show you how to use these abilities here in a sec. The upgrade for Pollen Puff is deals damage over time to the enemies, as well as it gives you a healing over time, and reduces the damage that they receive. Maybe it doesn't do healing over time, it just says that it attaches and reduces the damage that they receive. Your other choice is Leaf Tornado, and this is a solid pick all around in my opinion. It's doesn't bring the healing that Pollen Puff will, but its damage is, it's okay. It's not the best damage, but the speed boost is the real asset, as well as the upgrade at level 10 now will also decrease the accuracy of opposing Pokemon for a short time, which means that whoever you hit with this with the upgrade will, for a short amount of time, a second or maybe two, all of their auto attacks will miss. So this is a great counter against enemies that are heavily reliant on auto attacks for their damage. Some attackers, such as Greninja, Mewtwo-Y, Cinderace, Decidueye, are great targets to shut down with this, as well as all-arounders that rely on auto attacks, Garchomp and Dragonite, and to an extent, Zacian. It's a pretty good counter against all-arounders, and it's not too bad against speedsters. So that's more of a counter pick, but Leaf Tornado is, once you learn how to use it, it's a solid power. Moving on, upgrades to Synthesis, we have Cotton Guard, and this one is just a straight up buff. Let's see, it protects the user and nearby Pokemon with cotton. The cotton absorbs damage, and when the move ends, if this shield is still up, if it hasn't been damaged all the way, then it will restore a little bit of hit points. It's not much, but every little bit helps. You upgrade this one at I think it's level 12 now, and the upgraded version of this will also increase the user's movement speed while it's active. I think it also hits your allies with the movement speed on the upgrade as well. This Cotton Guard is a super easy power to use. Just make sure your allies are within the range, and try to get as many people in your circle to affect by it as you can. Can't go wrong. It's one of the easiest powers to use. Cotton Spore is not as easy as Cotton Guard to use, but it's, in my opinion, it's a more powerful ability. Let me read the description here. So it gathers spores around the users, increasing the user's movement speed while it's active. And the spore bursts after a short time, dealing damage to opposing Pokemon in the area of effect. It also throws them, decreases their movement speed for a short time. So once you can get the timing down of this Cotton Spore, so you'll hit it, and there'll be a little bit of a delay. It'll show a meter, a bar above your character, and when that bar gets full, it will pop, and it stuns everybody that's in range. So this is a devastating power. If you can use it to chain your stuns with your teammates, your defenders, and your attackers, then you can give the enemy a hard time. But it is kind of tricky to use. But once you get the hang of it, it's the hands down, in my opinion, the better power to pick. It also is has a favorable matchup against all-arounders and speedsters as they want to try to get in close to deal damage or their crowd control abilities themselves. When you upgrade this one at level 12, it will also increase the user's defense and special defense while using this move. Moving on to the Unite move, Cotton Cloud Crash. This is a great one. This is does several things that are beneficial for you and the team, and it can be kind of tricky to get the feel on when to use it effectively, since it does do damage as well as healing to your allies. Let me just read the description. It has the user float into the air and become invincible. That's awesome. You hover up in the clouds and nobody can hit you while you're up there. While you're up in the air, you can you have control of when you come back down. You know, there's a timer maximum that you can stay up there. When the timer ends, you come down anyway. But any time in between while you're in the air, you can come down at by hitting the button again. And this is a great one for stealing objectives. You can hover over the top of Rayquaza or a Reggie if you're outnumbered and the enemy team is there. So this is awesome to have in your pocket to fire off when contesting an objective to try to snag that last hit. It's one of the assets of Eldegoss. And as I said before, it will heal everybody in the area around you on your team when you come down, as well as dealing damage to the opponents. And on top of that, it will also push them all around and outwards in a circle. So if you get on one side of them, you can kind of control where you push the enemies. This is great to create a wedge and peel defenders or attackers during group fights to disrupt their placements. So get your practice in on this, especially with learning the timing on stealing the objectives. Different builds of items and emblems can give you more damage on this Unite move to give you a higher chance to take that last hit. Alright, let's go into the practice area and we'll take a look at how some of these abilities fire off in game. Here, I'll pick. This is the Halo where I've been using lately. I'm going up against another Eldegoss. I didn't change that. Alright, after we load up here into the practice area. And right here you want to take leafage right off the bat. I'm just going to hit this little bunny right now to show you this green icon right there, that fluff you can see indicated there right above the wild Pokemon shows you that your fluff is active. Here's synthesis. Here's the range for synthesis all around you. Here's the range for leafage. Let me see if I can find our Pozen Eldegoss somewhere. He probably went to no, he's down here. So let me show you what happens when I hit him with leafage. And do you see the little flourish that the opponent Glossopher did? And you can see down in the corner where my fluff activated here. I'll try to get back in range to show him doing the little flourish. And let's see if there it goes. I was healed a little bit when I received the attack back. Let me level up. and pick a different power. I'll show you Pollen Puff. Here, when I hit my level 4, I'm going to pick Pollen Puff, and when you use the power, it pulls up this circle, and you can move it around. Right, you could throw it. You can either throw it on the ground and it'll just fire off after a second or so, or you can throw it and pick it up. It surrounds me and it'll heal whenever it pops. I could throw it and hit it on the enemy Eldegoss over there and see how it stays with him and follows him. I like using X attack here as my special held item. As you can see, my Y item down here, for instances when they're low, I can hit that X attack and finish them off. Other good choices for Eldegoss is, of course, X speed to give you more mobility. Slow smoke isn't too bad. Eject button is great. Full heal is handy against heavy crowd control teams, but I find that X attack gives me the benefits of attack speed, damage, and boosts our abilities, our heals, and our shields, and all of that. So I picked Cotton Guard here just to show us. Let's see the range of here. It's a pretty big circle, so it hits the majority of the play screen, as you can see. Let me show you what happens when I use it there, and you can see a little bit of a cotton shield coming up around me. Let me get on to the level up here, and I'll get my cotton crash, the cloud crash, and I'll come see if he's going up. He's going up for the top objective, and I'll just give a demonstration of how you can use it, how it plays out in a match. So I'm going to turn on my guard, and check this out. I'll fly up. Here I'm invincible, and you see the meter there. When it expires, I fall down, and I damage him, heal myself, and it's all good. Alright, so that's Cotton Guard and Pollen Puff. Let me come on out of the practice mode real quick, if I can remember how to get out. Here we go. Let's leave the battle. And I'll open up the practice mode again, and I'll pull up Leaf Tornado and Cotton Spore, and give a brief rundown demonstration on how these powers work out. Let's go back to the main menu. Let's pull up the practice area again. Let's pick somebody else to be against. You know what, let's might as well bring Alolan and Raichu out here for some fun. Alright, I'm going to show us Cotton Spore, Leaf Tornado, and a little trick that you can do with your Unite move to trigger the Cotton Spore to pop before the meter fills up. So let's just come on down and see if we can meet him here. I'm going to take Leafage right off the bat and see if we can meet our Raichu at the bottom lane. If he's coming down, he might be going top lane this time. Where are you, buddy? Oh, he's down here. So let's try to take this farm from him. get the last. Oh, he got the last hit. Then let's try to take this farm from. Uh oh, he's getting close. I want to die. Or I should say get knocked out. And can we get the last hit on this thing? Yeah, we got the last hit. Let's take the leaf tornado. And this is just a blast right here. One thing that you want to make sure is you want to aim and hit with the tip of the tornado, as it does an extra hit if you hit it at the tip. It does a hit at the tip, and then once the tornado's at the end of the line, it'll damage everybody again that's on the path. So leaf tornado hits twice, once with the tornado on the way through, and then once again when the tornado hits the end of the line. So keep that in mind when you're aiming this leaf tornado. Uh-oh, he's getting close. This is a tough one. Let's try to come up here and take this last hit. There we go. And this is where I pop X attack and he's toast. Clean up the lane here and I'll take Cotton Spore. And be careful, if you hit Cotton Spore with the Cotton Spore is active, you can't score. So when you have that power going on, it prevents you from being able to start your score. So keep that in mind when you're using Cotton Spore, and you'll be okay. See the meter that pops up underneath the health bar? It is in right there. It popped up right underneath the indicator for my boosted. Let me pull it up again right there, and you see the meter fills up and pops when it gets full. So I would advise hiding in the bush just like this, turning on your spore, and when it's about halfway coming out, because they don't see you activate it when you're in the bush, they'll just see it around you, and you may catch opponents off guard thinking that they have more time to engage with you and retreat before the spore pops. So that's another little trick that you can do. Looks like I'm almost up to level 9. Let's just see if I can farm up and get my Unite move without pulling up the menu this time. And I'll show you a little trick that you can do with your Unite move to cause the Cotton Spore to pop before the meter fills up. Alright, so we're not quite. Maybe this last little piece of farm. Right there, it gets my level 9. I'm going to return back to the base and contend this top objective against our opponent. And you can use Leaf Tornado to, down the lane for respawn for you and your teammates to get a little speed boost to get back into the action. Oh, he's staying down there. He tricked me. Last time the enemy went to the top objective. This time he's staying down there at the bottom. Alright, let's run down to the bottom and do some contention. So check this out. I'm using Cotton Spore there. It is going to the full length. Now if I use Cotton Spore and use the ultimate before the duration, it will cause the Cotton Spore to pop as soon as I use the Unite move. So keep that in mind. That's pretty much all that there is to it about the different powers for Eldegoss and how to use them in theory. So let's if I can remember how to get out of here, let's talk about held items. And then after held items, I'll show you some of the emblem sets that I've put together over the years that I've been playing, this couple of years that I've been playing this game, and what's working for me. Right, here we go. Let me pull up our held items, and real quick, first of all, I cannot express enough how important it is to wear experience share on your supporters and your defenders. So get this, experience share says while the Pokemon has the fewest experience points on the team, it gains 5 extra experience points per second. In addition, when a nearby teammate defeats a wild Pokemon, that teammate gains slightly more experience points. So this is a great way to boost your team's early game and pump up your lane partner and your carries level as fast as you can. It's crucial for getting ahead early in the game and staying ahead level wise. So use it, learn how to use it, learn to stay next to your teammates when you're defeating wild Pokemon. And this XP share, the range on where you get how far you get the bonus is about the same as the distance for Eldegoss's basic attack. So if you're using basic attacks and your teammate is in the little circle of your basic attack range, then you know that they're getting the bonus from EXP share. Next, here I'll swap this out and add the traditional meta build, which is Buddy Barrier. Is pretty good, especially if you have issues with staying alive. You know, you feel like you're continually getting knocked out. It's early on or throughout the course of a match that you feel like you just can't survive long enough for your powers to be fired off. Then Buddy Barrier is a great addition. It also gives a shield when you, the user, fires your Unite move. The Pokemon with the least hit points around you, your ally, will get a shield equal to 25% of your max HP. So this can come in clutch in team fights to help protect either your defenders or your carries. By hitting your Unite move, it gives you the shield when you activate the Unite move, and it also will give you a buffer on using the heal from your Unite move, because you fly up into the air and there's a delay, a second or two is delay as the shortest amount that you can drop back down to heal. And the shield from Buddy Barrier just gives you a little bit of extra buffer to ensure that your allies stay alive before you can heal them. In my experience, it's not necessary. I'd rather have the extra special attack or extra attack from Rapid Fire Scarf or extra cooldown from the Bracer, an extra special attack from stacking. If you want to go with a different item for that to boost up your heals, boost up your shields, and boost up a little bit of the damage on your moves, your Cotton Spore, and your Tornado. I found that once you no longer are having so much issues with surviving, and you can manage your distance and pick your battles a little bit more intelligently, then Buddy Barrier is not necessary. Next, I like the Muscle Band. Is kind of a go-to meta build. It's great to take advantage of Eldegoss's basic attacks and the Cotton Fluff. It gives you a little bit of attack speed, as well as it will increase the damage done by your basic attacks a pretty it says 3% of the opposing Pokemon's remaining hit points, and that actually, through the course of a battle or through the course of a match, it doesn't seem like it's much, but yeah, that actually ends up being a pretty big amount of damage that you can chip away at the opponents when you're constantly firing off your basic attacks. It's also great for taking down objectives, Rayquaza or the Regieleki or the Reggie for buffs. It gives you that extra damage output to secure. So it's a pretty good all-around pick. I find that I use it most if I'm planning to take Cotton Spore. If I know I'm going to take Cotton Spore, then I feel Muscle Band is a good accompanier to it. Alright, now let's get into some of the items that I like to use that I found over the course that are decent. Resonant Guard you can replace Buddy Barrier with or Muscle Band with, and it just gives you a little bit extra hit points, extra recovery. Again, this is another one that if you're finding that you're having trouble staying alive and enough to use your powers, that you can use Resonant Guard. It also will, whenever you use your abilities, it will, whenever you hit the opponent with your abilities or your basic attack, it will give a small shield to yourself and a nearby ally. Which, it's better, it's stronger early game, but kind of loses its effectiveness later. Focus Band is another one if you're concerned with survivability, if you find that you're not early game, that you're dying, or in the heat of battle you're taking too much splash damage and it's just you're not able to survive long enough, you can put on Focus Band, boost your special defense and your defenses, as well as when you get low on hit points, you recover some, automatically recover some hit points as it procs when you get low. So that can be a good way to ensure that you're able to survive and keep applying shields, heals, stuns, and speed boosts and damage with your tornado. Alright, after Focus Band, now we're getting into more advanced kind of items to use. Once you've become comfortable in your lane strategy and keeping your allies alive and using your powers, and you want to add one more consideration to maximize your output, Special Attack Specs is the way to go. It gives you a flat boost of special attack right off the bat, and each time you score, it doesn't matter if you're scoring 1 point or if you're scoring a max, full ball, 50 or anything. Anytime you score, you gain a special attack increased by 16, and there'll be a little icon in the corner of the screen. When you put in a score, it'll put a little glasses icon and a number up there. It'll stack up to 6 times, so you can get a pretty significant boost on this one. Just be careful that you're not going full tilt and trying to put scores in unintelligently and ending up getting KO'd several times in the course of putting your points in. So this is more of an advanced strategy. Let's see, another one that I've been liking to use recently is the drive lens here. This is the latest item that's been brought to the game for special attackers. The drive lens, it increases your special attack by a little bit and your cooldown by a little bit right off the bat, as well as whenever you score a knockout, you gain 2 stacks, and it'll stack up to 10. Whenever you score an assist, you'll gain 1 stack, and each stack will boost your special attack by 2.4%. And I would like running drive lens and the stacking glasses together sometimes if you really want to just max out your as much special attack as you can get to get the biggest and fastest shields that you can, or heals that you can. Then this is a great strategy. It could be a lot of fun. Next on the list is the energy amplifier, and I was using this one before the drive lens came out because of the cooldown, but it also helps your Unite move recharge a little bit faster, as well as it will increase your damage of your Unite move and all of the damage from your basic attacks, your Cotton Spore and your Leaf Leaf Tornado by 21% after you fire off your Unite move. So this is a great asset if for those times when you're trying to use your Unite move to snipe that last hit or on an objective, or if you are planning on using Leaf Tornado or Cotton Guard. I would advise the little bit of extra cooldown to get those moves up a little bit faster. You know, sometimes I run Energy Amp and the Drive Lens together. If I know I'm going to be taking Cotton Guard to really stack up that cooldown and make sure that that shield is available as often as it can. Alright, next, an honorable mention that is sometimes used depending on the matchup is Curse Incense. So if you're going up against in draft, or if you suspect that you may be going up against enemy composition that has strong heals, you know, you're going against Fable, Umbreon especially, this is a great one to pick to counter their healing ability, but it's also just a fine general pick for laning or the game in general for pressing the enemy's goal. So that Curse Incense will always fire up to prevent the or to weaken the healing of the pads that they receive and the berries that they eat on their side. But it's also pretty good to just chip away at opposing defenders. Several defenders have self-healing abilities such as Gudra or Trevenant that if you're facing off against either of them, then as well, then the Curse Incense is not a bad idea. Alright, so that pretty much covers all of the held items that I would advise using. You could also, if you want, put on Wise Glasses to give you a little bit of a boost to your special attack. But in my experience, I'm finding that with the Drive Lens, it's essentially rendering the Wise Glasses sort of obsolete. So I'm not sure if you get haven't crunched the numbers exactly to see what's the maximum of special attack you can get versus Wise Glasses versus Drive Lens, but from a feel perspective, it definitely, once you hit a certain level in the game, maybe around 10 or 11, then your Drive Lens boost is feeling like it's giving you more than Wise Glasses. So here, let's put them back how it was when I found them. Put on the Drive Lens there. So this is what I've been using at the end of last season and to start off this season as my go-to kind of all-around kit. We've got a bit of cooldown on the Drive Lens in case I pick Tornado or Guard, and it's got the muscle band to give us a bit of the attack speed and boost to our basic attacks. But I have found a couple of instances so far this season where I was going for a snipe on a steal on a Rayquaza or a Reggie, and the damage was a little bit lower than I expected because I'd been getting used to using the Energy Amp for quite a bit last season and a couple of seasons before, so I may end up switching back to the Energy Amp. I'm just a fan in general of cooldown on your moves, especially if it's a Pokemon that has moves that deal crowd control, which you get with Cotton Spore. So even if the cooldown percentage doesn't shave off a whole ton of time from Cotton Spore, any little bit of extra stuns that you can fire off at the enemy team is helpful to ensure that your team can control the battle and emerge victorious. Alright, that's some of our held items. Let's take a look here at our boost emblems. And look, I got my Sableye emblems loaded up right now, so let's change it out. Let's see, where do I get it? Here we go. Okay, so first of all, this is the old meta for what Eldegoss used to be running with, all in on the attack speed. And this is pretty good if you want to use the rapid fire scarf with the muscle band. You know, hey, I didn't talk about the rapid fire scarf because I haven't been using it very much lately. It's kind of fallen out of fashion. But this red emblem set is the set that you would go to if you were going all in on your attack speed, which gives you a pretty strong early game advantage in the lane. If you can get ahead level wise early in the first 3 or 4 minutes of the match and stay ahead, then you can snowball to victory. So red emblems are pretty good. You know, I got 7 red, 4 white, 2 green. Next, if you are going more for the tankier build and you need help with survivability, or you're going for the buddy barrier strategy of pumping up your hit points so your buddy barrier shield is maximized, then I would suggest going with 6 green, 6 white, and 3 black. And in this one we've got 350 hit points, a little bit of special attack, and a little bit of movement speed as well. Solid pick all around. Next, I would say if you would prefer instead to focus on cooldown, it still gets you a chunk of hit points, and I haven't crunched the numbers to determine if the 6 white hit points emblem set actually nets you more than this one with 2 white and 350 hit points, but you get 7 black and you still get 6 green for your 4% special attack boost. The 7 black gives you 4% cooldown, and 2 white still gives you 1% hit points. So this is if you were aiming to pick Cotton Guard or Tornado and you still need help with survivability, or that you just enjoy being in the thick of things and you want the extra hit points to maximize being in the thick of battle, then 7 black, 6 green, 2 white is a solid pick for you. Alright, lastly, I'll show you my favorite emblem set for Eldegoss, and I just find that move speed is such an advantage. I just enjoy it, using it so much to kite and to be able to dodge the enemy attacks easier, and to stay at the out of range of their attacks and hit them with your auto attacks. This is the emblem sets that I settle on for most of my matches. 7 black, 6 green, 2 white with a little bit of hit points and 210 movement speed. Alright, there you go, guys. Thanks again for tuning in. I hope this information has been helpful and useful for you. Don't forget to subscribe and share, and tune in to my late night streams, late night live, 10 p.m. Central Time, Monday through Thursday. Thanks again, guys. I'll catch you next time.